Hey everybody, I'm Mama Baird and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be whipping up 3 dishes utilizing bacon. If you don't know, I have a little bit of bacon in my house and I'm trying to incorporate it as many ways as possible. And sometimes just adding a little bit of bacon really can improve a pre-made dish to make it pop. So here's 3 different ways that I improve classic dishes with a little bit of bacon. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Carolina and I live in Montana. I do a lot of food bank hauls, pantry cooking, and canning and preserving on my channel. If that's the kind of content you're into, I hope you'd consider subscribing. I'd love to have you come join me in the kitchen. All right, let's get into these bacon recipes and let's see what I do. Good morning, everybody. For our first bacon recipe, we are going to be making some bacon pancakes. Now, I'm going to be trying something a little different. One of you guys have sent me this oat flour blend and it's full of whole grains. It's whole grain organic oat flour and buckwheat flour. So this is going to be extra hearty and healthy for my family. So I really appreciate this and we're going to try this out with some pancakes. So let's get in here and I'll show you how to make it. Alright, so I'm just going to use all of this to make a big batch. Alright, so this is about 4 cups, which is perfect. Alright, so for this one, I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm not really following a recipe, I'm just kind of winging it here. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to try and sift out those lumps. Then you always want to add some kind of salt to your sweet dishes to counteract all that sweetness. So I'm adding a little bit of kosher salt. If you wanted to add any spices to your pancakes, this would be a good time to do that as well. I really like adding pumpkin pie spice to mine. Okay, and then I'm going to be adding 3 eggs to this. There's about 1/2 cup of melted butter. I have some buttermilk here I need to use up, so that's going to be my milk choice. I'm going to add a splash of some vanilla. I do love vanilla in all my baked goods. And then I have some maple syrup here from Canada, Ontario, because they have the best maple syrup. I'm going to use this as my sweetener instead of sugar or brown sugar. I also have quite a bit of honey I could use as well. All right, I'm going to add the rest of the buttermilk. I don't really like my batter too whoa. Okay then. Just put that anywhere. Never said I was a clean cook. Alright, that's still pretty thick to me, so I'm going to add some canned milk as well. I have this open in my fridge. Been working off it. This is kind of like shelf-stable milk that you can make yourself. I do have a video I can link below on how to can up milk if you're interested in canning up some regular milk you get from the store and being able to put it on your shelf. Okay, a little more. I still think that's thick. I'm gonna add a little more. As I sit here and edit this and I see my struggle with the liquid to flour ratio, I just want to let you guys know that I have since learned that a good ratio is equal parts, 1 cup flour to 1 cup milk, and that gets you a really good batter consistency. So if you struggle like I do when you're winging recipes, that's a good one to go by. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's head over to the griddle. I'm going to be using my Weber grill here. Let's put some butter on there. And I need to give this thing a good cleaning eventually. I haven't been doing too heavy cooking. I haven't been doing too much of heavy cooking on here though, just like I haven't been doing too heavy of like frying on here stuff. Just simple stuff like pancakes. I did some chili cheese conies the other night on a live. If you guys missed that video, I can link that below too. It was super fun. It was so good too. I could have made a second one, but those things are huge. Alright, so I'm just putting my batter down here. Now you can also just do a small one first just to try it if you want to taste your batter. It's a good way to verify. And then I have a bunch of little bacon bits here. This is what I'm going to use for my bacon pancakes. This is peppered bacon that I used my meat grinder to get these down. And it's like little bacon bits. I really like it. Now you don't want your heat too high on your grill. These are still kind of thick. I'm just going to push some of the bacon in there. Kind of flatten that out a little bit. Because nothing's worse than having raw batter in the middle of a pancake. Alright, so let's give this a little peek. Oh, that looks pretty good. Look at that. If your pancakes are falling apart on you when you flip them like this, that means that they are not ready to be flipped. Just let them cook a little longer on that one side. Oh, that looks good. Since these are so thick, I'm gonna flip them over again. I'm not gonna make such big ones next time. They look good though. Oh yeah. Alright, let's give this bacon pancake a try. I like that it's little tiny pieces of bacon. I'm not like super chewy ones. It needs more bacon. That was not enough. I wonder if I can put some down, then put the batter on it. Nah. Now they're not too sweet. I'm not getting much sweetness from this at all. Sometimes I'll put extra sugar in the pancakes to make them sweeter. So I won't serve it with pancake syrup. Actually, I don't even have pancake syrup. That stuff's like evil. So I just use real maple syrup. And in order to stretch my maple syrup, I'll just make the pancake a little sweeter. And then don't put syrup on it at all. So that way you're still getting the effects of the maple without going through tons of maple syrup. Because I don't know about you, but my family just douses it, which is crazy, but I'm getting the kids to just eat the pancake by itself and not eating syrup. So that's a great trick that I use for my family to save on our maple syrup, so that way we can have higher quality and make it last longer. But these kids are hungry, so I'm gonna get this plated up and let's move on to the next bacon recipe. Alrighty, for this recipe, I'm going to be utilizing some of this creamed spinach that I have. It's pre-made, and it says it's made with bacon already, but you know, we're going to be adding more to that. I'm going to be opening this up, and then I have a jar of artichokes I'm going to add to it because I want to make a spinach artichoke dip. And then I have some Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella, and that's kind of all I'm using for this recipe. I'm going to take the artichoke hearts and just cut them up bite sizes, and I'm going to use this whole jar because that's quite a bit of spinach and I like the big chunks of artichoke in there. If you guys don't want it as big, then you can always dice it smaller. That's a great option as well. Now that I have the artichoke in there, I'm just going to mix it up a bit and get that nice and incorporated. Like I said, I like the really big chunks in there. Now I'm going to add some of my cheeses. I have Parmesan cheese. This is just powdered that I got from a friend, so I'm going to use that up. And then I'm grating some fresh mozzarella. Now fresh mozzarella goes so much better than like the pre-shredded because the pre-shredded comes with this chemical that keeps it from clumping, which also prevents it from melting as well. So that's why it's really beneficial to grate your own cheese. So I'm going to put some of that in there, a little bit of garlic powder. Well, I'm using up the last of this yogurt that I needed to use, so I'm just going to throw some of that in there. Sour cream would also be good. Then get that a good mix. I'm going to be putting this in my stoneware. This is a Pampered Chef stoneware. I think it really does a good job of making it bubble. A cast iron would be good too, or just any kind of serving dish. Just put it in whatever you're going to serve it in. Then I'm just spreading it out. I'm going to add some more cheese on top because you know we got to. So I'm going to sprinkle some more of that Parmesan, and then I'm adding more of that mozzarella cheese. I probably ended up using a block's worth, like a little block, like 8 ounces worth for all of this. And then we're going to put the bacon on top of that. You could also put the bacon underneath it, but I wanted to see the bacon. We're going to bake it at 350 till light and bubbly. And I had this pita bread, this flat bread that I have in my freezer, so I pulled out one of those, brushed it with some salt and pepper and olive oil. It's a little hot, but just like that, we have a bacon, cheese, spinach, artichoke dip. Yum! For this next bacon dish, I'm going to be elevating some green peas here. I just have a big bag of frozen peas. You could actually thaw these, or you could use a can of peas as well if you don't want to do this, but I just threw them in frozen, no big deal. I have some ground bacon there is what I started with. I also wish that I had some diced onions. That would go really well. But I'm just going to be stirring this up and letting it cook a little bit. I am going to put a lid on it to help it steam a bit to get that to release. And then after about a couple of minutes, I took it off and decided that it needed a little more bacon grease to help crisp it up a little bit. It was just kind of, I don't know, not quite enough fat down there. You know what I'm saying? So I added a little more bacon grease. It's always nice to have something on hand. You can use any kind of fat though, coconut oil, olive oil, anything you would like. And now I'm going to be adding some salt, some garlic powder, some of my leek powder. You could really add any kind of seasoning you and your families like. I think the basic salt, pepper, garlic powder really just does great. You don't really need too many different spices. But since I didn't have onions in here, I wanted to add the onion powder. And it's really just as simple as that, guys. And now we have a fantastic side that could go with any meal. And it has bacon in it, which makes everything better. And just like that, we have 3 different dishes that all we had to do was add a little bit of bacon, and it improved it so much. What dishes do you like to add bacon to? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time on Mama Baird's.